A one-woman man's what I wanna be. Stay by her side so faithfully. I would if I could, but it's just no good. 'Cause there's two perfect girls for me.
Whichever Ranma 1/2 canon you follow, one thing is clear. Despite Ryoga's misguided love for Akane, he has Ukyo Kuonji in his life. The two are an inseparable force to be reckoned with, scheming and working together in their own pursuit of love, only for their plans to blow up in their faces, usually due to Ryoga's bumbling ways. But with every screw-up, the two are brought closer together. In the anime, it is almost certain that Ryoga and Ukyo are destined to be. But off the small screen and into the pages of the manga, things are different, for there is another girl in Ryoga's life. Allow me to introduce to you Akari Unryu. She comes from a long line of pig enthusiasts, and for generations her family has raised pigs to become champion sumo wrestlers. Being around pigs all her life, Akari has grown to be really fond of pigs. Sure, lots of girls love pigs and find them cute, but Akari loves them to the point of obsession. In fact, when it comes to boyfriend material, Akari is specially looking for a guy with various pig-like traits. Her loving father wanted his daughter to find a strong husband to take care of her and continue the family legacy. It was his dying wish, despite him still being around to say his last words. But Akari couldn't just choose any man. As is the case with various other characters in the Ranma 1/2 canon, there are certain requirements that must be met before anyone can even think of asking for Akari's hand in marriage. To be Akari's husband, one must first best himself in combat against the 14th Yokozuna of Pigdom! Meet Katsuni Shiki, Akari's trusty pet, and in lots of ways faithful traveling companion and bodyguard. His name is a combination of Katsu, the Japanese word for pork, and Nishiki, the honorific applied to sumo wrestlers. His name literally means pork sumo, and rightfully so. Think Pichan, but the size of Malmolin, and packing as such the strength as a herd of stampeding elephants! To face Katsuni Shiki in battle is to face certain death. Few men have faced the wrath of this wild boar and lived to tell about it, and for years Akari was without someone to love. That was until Katsuni Shiki crossed paths with one Ryoga Hibiki. Ryoga made short work of Katsuni Shiki, much like the same way Ranma wipes the floor with Pichan. And from that moment on, Akari was head over heels in love. Sure, Ryoga was the first and only man strong enough to stand up against Mr. Big P, but there was something else, something that Ryoga was trying to hide from her. Akari could not get over how much Ryoga reminded her of a pig, and was sure to let him know. Not exactly the kind of thing you should say to someone when trying to confess your love. She baked him some cookies and knitted him a sweater to try and show how much she loved him, but her decorative skills also gave him the wrong idea. Ryoga's reactions to her praises led Akari to her deepest, darkest fear. Could the love of her life hate pigs? From then on, Akari made it her mission to hate pigs as much as she thought her beloved did, vowing to never again even say the word pig, which couldn't have come at a worse time. As Ryoga's rival for Akane's affections, but never planning things out as usual, Ranma had slipped Ryoga the magical Embrace of Passionate Love incense, an Amazon potion that triggers its user to hug and say I love you to whomever happens to say a trigger word, in this case, pig. From then on, things became quite chaotic. Akari went through hell to make herself hate pigs, and Ryoga tried to make a good impression, but all the while involuntarily hugging and confessing his love to any random guy who happened to pass by and use the word pig in a sentence. The last straw came when a rainstorm broke out during what was supposed to be Akari and Ryoga's first kiss, and Pichon found himself on the receiving end of Akari's newfound hatred of pigs. In the end, something had to give. Finally, Akari discovered Ryoga was indeed more like a pig than she could have ever anticipated, and she danced with joy. It seemed the two were destined to be. Or so it seemed. Akari was devastated and left, but gradually they picked up the pieces and maintained contact through letters, visiting one another, and soon enough, dating. They went from pen pals to finally boyfriend and girlfriend. But although Akari loved only him, Ryoga couldn't shake his irrational crush on Akane. Eventually, he became as bad as Kuno, valuing photos of both girls more than life itself. And so, the love triangle continued. Will Ryoga ever be able to put aside the love he never had? And even by some stroke of luck, Ryoga was able to move on. What should happen if Akari and Ukyo cross paths? A one-woman man is what Ryoga wants to be, but there's two perfect girls for he.
A one-woman man's what I wanna be, but there's one, no two, no 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so many perfect girls for me.
This has been a Ranma 1/2 character profile. Special thanks go out to NWO Junkie, 89 Anime Night II, Koga 560, Sunny Anime Girl, Zutara Fan Fairy, and Shiji Ikari 1 for the requests. This profile was brought to you in part by JW Studios and by Shade.